Hello, this is FG back with the EU4 Anbennar. Today we are continuing on with the Konolkhatep campaign. Last episode we got a lot of our Madasi campaign, or Madasi setup, and did a whole lot of other stuff along with it. This episode we are hopefully going to conquer even more of the world. Alright. Is the game going to crash? The answer was yes, the game did crash. Alright. Can the game survive? Alright. So now, what we are doing is mostly going to wait around and fight. That would be convenient, actually. I do want my fleet to be built first, though, because this is likely to be a somewhat rough war. Alright. Get that done. What do we need next? Taking the remains. Alright. That'll get done when I invade Midahart. Additionally, culture conversions. You know what? Okay, yeah. That done. Alright, no more culture conversions for the moment. I am waiting to be able to do the Null Madasi decision to convert Sassurumbat, because that will be an excellent addition to our power. Not too much longer. Nullish noble rebels. Okay. Interesting. Yes, we want to upgrade the Bronze Dragon Academy for the extra landfire damage. That will be the next thing we want to do. More conversions is great. Alright, what did I do with my trade fleet? Right here. And we'll get them up to 40. And we will bring more of the galleons over here. Bureaucratic counselors. And I'll revoke that. Alright, this way. Holy War. Are they allied with anyone? Yes. Yeah. Okay, yes, we are waiting for the Ahati. Oh no, Alcahadis Zealots. Converted, Quika into a tributary too. Alright. And we can do No, unlikely. A hottie. That one's probably the most likely to get done. My vassals, because they are wonderful people, will help me. Alright. You wait. Once we have Sasabumbat as a vassal, we are going to be so much powerful, because that's basically an extra... We can feel like money. Okay, that is nearly all the boats done with. This one can go here as well. Okay, so what is my split looking like? 26, 5, 16. We got 20. Alright, is that what we... And then we want... that... Let's do control, control. Alright. Alrighty, there we are. No Madassi. Sasrumbat. Alright. Bastard decided to die before he did his job. And they are... Satrapy... Atrophy. I just get robbed? Revert to Madassi. Yes. Alright, there we are. Now that is a vassal. Roll refugees, sure, we'll take them in. Krathanor, hello, buddy. Let's do a... what's that? Cobb something. Sure. And head there, here, here. And march this way. Difficult sieges, what's that? Alright. Now the question. How will the fleet do? First of all, we need to actually make sure that they don't get too grouped up. So that would be bad. And as far as X-West, I'm just going to fabricate a claim on them. I might just be able to demand provinces. Or demand that province. Alright. Yes, this is the correct amount. They can sit right there for the moment. Where do these cannons go? Right here. That's where the cannons went. They also want to get rid of these guys, and they can sit there in that province. Oh, do not like it when the game hiccups like that. In terms of what I want, obviously want the coast, and then that, and then here, up there, and there. Of course, these provinces are all cult of Ulios because the coast over here always converts to cult of Ulios. It's not hard-coded, but that's... In the year 1632, the Great Mountain Road, Igrax Mountain, was dedicated in the name of Nikad Horutep. As the Sorrow forged a path through the lands of Keterata, so did the Mountain Road forge a path through the mountains by sheer force of will. As the Sorrow guides us through the land of the Ket, so does the Mountain Road lead you through the treacherous peaks. As you ascend to the highest peaks of the Mountain Road, so too does Konolkhatep ascend to greater heights under the righteous guidance of the Ket. As this road stands forever, so too shall Konolkhatep. My will be done. Alright. We can now do the road through here, which is great. Here. We do want to culture convert a lot of stuff. All those have the correct one going. We only want to convert non-Keteratan, non-null cultures. Okay. There we are. Okay. I actually want to build one, two, three, four. A few extra. I'll be able to transport at least one army. Okay. And I want to march one army here. Right there. We're not at war with them. Who's that? KKK. Oh. Yeah, I'd rather have the hedonism. Alright, we are looking excellent. These guys can head back that way. .5 slaves each month. Angula. By 30 per province currently owned by. To Isar Hall. Angula. Yeah. All right. Yes, that's great. Pearl's Edge. We'll march one. Actually, march one army. Oh no, never mind. Neither of those armies need to march that way. Right there. Don't do that and that. Oh, there. Where that army went. Oh no, there goes Golkora. That's fine. It'll be fine. That's less fine. Ireland. Alright. Send them that way. More siege ability, let's go. I think sieging down those two should probably be enough. I hope. Fairly weak RNM. Come and siege my province. I'm sure it'll go great. Hey, RNN. I want those two things. Let's do that and that. Ooh, they barely win that. They don't enjoy it, though. Okay, let's get all of them together. We lose a few ships, that's fine. What we actually want to get rid of is these, and then sit down there. Alright, we head that way. We will do Decree of Conquest for the -5 to Years of Separatism. Alright. Hey, RNN. Surprisingly, they do not want to give up. Stupid bastards. Who's the Emperor? RNN. Move this one here. Hey, RNN. Also give me money. And the Inquisitor is the one who died. Yeah, skill 4 Inquisitor. Okay, so for Pearl's Edge. Okay, those have been converted. That one converted. Alright, hey, Theranin. What imperial reforms do they have? That would be funny. In fact, it is so funny, we're gonna head right this way. Do they have a magical fort something? Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna have to siege down another province. Good for them. I get to suffer my wrath a little bit longer. Don't want that. Fear and Loathing, lead the crowds. That's for 2 more years. I'm sure I have to prepare Siege General. I do. And then I can split this fleet in half. Half of them can go here. And we can do that. Okay, those have all been raided. Yeah. My income like 105. depending on their development. 492. Do I want to take slaves? Don't want to pillage. Rathanor. Alright. There we are. They can go there. Pearl's Edge does not want to hand over their land because they're stupid. I am sieging down your own provinces. This is... Just hand over your colonial possessions. It's not that hard. What's the official religion of the Empire? Region Court. It's pretty normal. We can march back this way. And the elites can both come here, and for Rathanor, we want that. Okay, let's get some extra admin. Better and 3 times better. Peak of civilization. Okay. And as for them, okay, I actually can't transfer trade. I wanted to see if I could do that, but I cannot. Not to worry. Oh, misclick. No. Employ new governor. Slave project. No, I can't do anything there. Horutep. Okay. Not that big of a deal. They need to head here. They're fine where they are. These guys, before they do that, they should probably do that just so it clogs up my screen a little bit less. And these guys are done. Alright. Because I'm lazy as hell and I just want to keep my army together. Come right here. And then we're going to build a supply depot. How much bad is that? It's still pretty bad. Okay, that is everyone. It worked on. Alright. All of these guys can handle that. Alright, what is next on the agenda? Still have a truce with Sariand. I don't care about fighting them at the moment. We'll roll over Polar eventually. Ezelmore and Umbral Covenant are more of a war than I can really fight right now. I suppose this is an option. And as far as mill power goes, I guess I do that. Okay. These guys can actually cover absolutely everything. These guys can move down here. Our fleet. These guys can come this way. More. They do not want me. Want to hand that over. Okay. That's why. Eberthiel and Vern get done in one go. That shouldn't be too bad. Akasa's already a vassal. We need 1, 2, 3. We need 2 wars. The Busalari War will do a lot of extra stuff for us, though, because we'll be able to grab these provinces, which we need. So that will be... Oh, Ardymia is independent. Okay. They don't have a unique flag, but I guess no, they haven't had its national traditions yet. Complete. Eventually we'll need to go into Rahem and Poles in general. How many men do they have? 47,000. Yeah, they aren't prepared. You know what? I want to hand out... religious culture... And here... Let me ask for a few more Diplo. Okay. As far as Madassi, are any of these... Not really. Can I integrate them? No, 2 more years. I really want to integrate them. Next idea group will be influence. Is there anything interesting I can get with influence? No. Well, culture conversion cost is pretty good for us. I like owning more crown lands. That'll be good. High Temple of the Two. The Keterodans all worship Ket as gods, but the problem is who sits atop the pantheon has been a matter of theological debate for centuries. The majority views that Elkahet, the architect, as creator of Keterada, is the greatest of all gods. But a number of dissenters hold that Nirket, as mother of Elkahet and creator of the sorrow, is the greatest god of all. What that means for everyday life in Keterata is that the land is rife with accusation of heresy and recriminations between their two rival Ket sects. Especially given the Ket themselves are not inclined to step in and settle anything, the Nullish faiths have no such complex distinctions or hierarchy, so the opinion of the Saruman on such issue has always been somewhat more relaxed. In an effort to spread this attitude among our subjects more broadly, we have constructed the High Temple of the Two in Nearat, venerating Elkahet and Nirket together, whose grand statues stand together on the highest point of the temple overlooking the works of their subjects. We have reunited Elkahet and Nirket at last, and they surely both would have seen this as the greatest tribute we could pay them. Alright. Next slave project. I think we need... yeah, the Abyssal Gold Mine. And then we can create a massive gold mine. Alright, where'd my ships go? Right. Now let's go ahead and get it over with. Not that one. Nope, neither. We need slaves. Am I taking slaves from here? No, I could though. Yeah, subject. Alright. It is time to take some vassals. Or not vassals, but tributaries. It's been a while since I've done this. That's fine. Don't care about that one. Okay. Now we can go deal with that in a little bit. Let's build a spy network. Disciples of Horutep. Lightning of Halan. I'll do a Lightning of Halan. A second army, didn't we? Yeah. So, where are those rebels? Right here. They're done, they're done. Yeah, that's good. And then I want to throw all of them on siege. Even though they can't do anything right now, because... yeah. Just... I'll take that myself. What are we looking like in terms of mana? Oh, accidentally tabbed out. I apologize. Ooh, I was scared it crashed. Yeah, we do a simulation program. As much as that is a little bit painful for me. Okay, those are much better prices. We can do that easily. That will be the entire coast, Saruman Knolls. There is more Saruman Knolls in the world now than any other Knoll type. I'll have to go get that too. Traders demand aid, sure. Yeah. Inflation. Please someone go deal with that. You. Okay. Man, these guys are really not converting these holes very well. Converting very well. Also, I am going to fuck off and fight over this way. Here. How am I doing? Dump a bunch of cash, get that going. These guys can actually get dropped right here. Just pay for hedonism. Yeah, I should probably have the extra missionary going. You know what? I like lizardmen. Let's take some lizardmen slaves. Alright, that is our road finished. Sorry, I forgot to read the flavor. What's the defensiveness here? Minus 23%. Not the best, not the worst. Okay. These guys, they need to be a tributary. Ooh, a new cat arc. New buff. Let's take diplomatic annexation cost. And then manpower recovery speed. I need more slave road options. How close am I to having the... Okay, two more provinces, and then the road is done. It's not too bad at all. down. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes. Alright. There's that siege done with. And it's this general. They can just drill. Do we have any more rebels? Yeah, a few. Complete. Only one more section of road to go. That. They can. Send the fleet right here. Halflings aren't great at this whole not getting annexed thing. Yeah, alright. These ones. This. I can't take slaves because it's 80. The wind will. Hedonism, sure. Religious state, clerical ministers. We'll get rid of this one. Roll back at least a few privileges. It's complete. Alright. So with that, we can do Carry On the Legacy. Bronze melted bronze starring the Dragon's Wake. Within a few fiery years, Akhehet appeared, wounded Kedarada's heartland, slew the reigning Kedark, and then ruled the nation in his playful human guise. With pride and will and tragic measure, Akhehet marched into Bulwar, raining fire upon sun worshippers before vanishing yet again after his inconclusive struggle against the Sand Demon of the Salahad. In his wake, the Bronze Lord earned mocking monikers, a light-bringer bringing darkness. Horutep grins grimly, his report with the Bronze Lord revealing this murky leg of history. Although he lacked a draconic visage or fiery breath, his army's path through Bulwar proved even more legendary. Now the godly Null lords over the smoking rubble of the Defiant. Fanatics and foes alike speak with the Steward's tempestuous campaign. And from now into the sun's final blot, Horutep shall reign as master of Bulwar, a dragon in all but form. Alright, so we can do the Sun Road, which is the one that connects these two up. Yep. Good with me. Alright, so that is 2 armies drilling. And make sure all my armies are in the right place. Yeah, okay, good. Okay. Tributary. Yep. There you are. Alright. Entice the halflings. Diplomatic power at least 200. That's easy. While I'm here, I might as well finish up. Yeah, might as well finish up. Wait, did I... Forgot to get them. Damn it. I have my own little cat sitting in my lap right now. She's a good little cat. Giving her cheek scratches right now, which she likes. Missing localization. Missing localization. Alright. Glad we got that straightened up. Do this. And then we come here. Hall of Kingdoms. That's pretty good. Alright, conversions are done with. These guys need to be a tributary. I also would like to take them as my slaves, because I am currently using a bunch. How much will this give me? 368. $383. To East Sarhal. Yeah, we're just gonna take a whole bunch of slaves because Ketarata needs more bodies. Horutep needs to build a bigger pyramid, so someone's gotta die for it. Oh, there we are. Grand Commander of the Ahadi. O Horutep, Grand Commander of the Ahadi. In their barracks, the recruits of the Ahadi train to become something greater than themselves. They train their bodies with weapons and learn how to kill with fearsome efficiency. But before that, they train their souls. Every Ahadi knows that nobility is not a title that someone is born with, but a creed that must be renewed each day. They know that it is impossible to be strong without being wise. It is possible to be wise without being just. And it is impossible to be just without being strong. This means that every commander of the Ahadi is all three in equal measure, and it means that even if they are never explicitly told so, even the weakest of the most junior Ahadi know what they train to become. They train to become like you, O Horutep. This is why you command the Ahadi. It is why all of their number would die for you without hesitation. Alright. We have a lot of nicknames. Well, not nicknames, titles is the correct word. Epithets. Alright. Yes, we want more Diplo. Lovely. Best thing about having all of these satrapies is that you can rapidly change what you want, or rapidly change what kind of mana points you're generating. And we want tolerance of true faith, core creation cost. I mean, all of these are kind of good. This is probably going to be the most useful immediately. Howitzers, okay. Everthia, we will fight Vern, which will give us most of those, this, and that will just leave us X West and Busalar. You know what? Let's pump up that. I can establish a new legion. Oh, we need 50,000 manpower. Yeah. Oh, Horutep. Yes, we need to do that. That's done. Marine port of Koreshesh. And yes, that looks good. Yeah, I'll take that. Shipwrecked, whatever. Hey. Jesus Christ, how big is this province? Do they have a lot of provinces somewhere? No. Just expensive. It's fine. It's fine. Cloves. Hurrah. Hedonism. I like hedonism. Okay, let's get this one. Doesn't even matter that we took a landing to do that. And then here, we want tributary. And there we are. Alright, that's basically Favosi done with. The only stuff we're missing is like these. I should do Abapuvia. Oh yes, this is also a thing I need to do. Relations. Then here, okay, they need to march this way. Control refugees, okay. Steward's Authority. Dassy Legions. Yeah, we'll do formalization of Dassy Legions. That seems pretty good. And where is my fleet? Right there. Okay. They need to be right here. Trade-wise. Okay. They need to privateer over here. That. Okay. So I can now do that. Entice the halflings. They say an army marches on its stomach. Well, the halflings neither march nor their bands of little archers could be called an army, but they pay attention to the needs of their stomachs more than any other race. Already driven from the mainland, their only saving grace was being protected by the sea. But any empire with resources to construct a fleet of note would make even this last line of defense quickly crumble, never mind us. Horutep could easily swallow this sad little island and its inhabitants in a single bite, but Horutep is not a devourer. He's not a mindless beast made of hunger. He's the steward, master of the great river itself. These little half-men are easily bought, and not with gold, but with food. The halfling's carrot is but an ear in the expanse of fields, for he who owns the granary of the Divinal. Alright, so one of them becomes a Madassi. Who gets the honor? No, no, no. Satrapy. Damn it. Oh well. It is what it is. Why is the Umbral Covenant? It's R 245,000 versus their fewer. Honestly, what's their manpower like? 88,000, 101,000? Okay. Magical negligence. Yes, this. Recall. I have no idea why the Umbral Covenant is what's it called? It is guaranteeing them, but just have to do. Okay, so that they can move this way. Also, enforce march on. And I need to send this army to probably go fuck up the Umbral Covenant. Construction time. It's good. Alright, we have made landfall. Operation Revenge for the Hill Knolls is a go. Assume they have 150,000 men. No, just 100,000. That's a lot less than I was expecting. Undisputed Monarch of the Seas. Oh, Horutep, Undisputed Monarch of the Seas. In the days of the Warring Pact, the Nolish people were great corsairs. The Gulf of Rahan and the Divinol alike feared us. Our piracy was possible not because we had any great love of the water, but because the navies of our enemies were weak and because our people refined the practice of raiding into a fine art. Although we are not opposed to plunder, our objective on the seas is no longer to flit between ports stealing away unlucky shore dwellers. Where the old corsairs claim mere golden slaves, now you claim all the sea. The fleet is strong where the fleets of others are weak. Our admirals oversee armadas as large as cities, and the banner of Konolkhatep on a trading ship guarantees its safe passage in all the ports of the world. Were some band of pirates foolish enough to raid our shores the way we raided so long ago, their heads would be separated from their bodies with grape shot. This overwhelming force is what makes your dominion of the seas possible, and the rewards of your enlightened rule will surely accrue to all the world. Alright. We can now set up that here, and we want to run that. Okay, we're gonna have to switch these armies around because this will make it 28%, 35% by men. Move there. Alright, where is the army without a leader? This one. You know what? He can march this way. Yeah, innovativeness is great. But I potentially... I could. Do I want to? Also a great question. Yeah, that is the right general. It is time to bombard this. What are we looking like on mana? Probably 100, 100, yeah. Okay, so for Vern, go to the Theater of Simulacra. Reject the spirit. Let's do this, do that. And we'll take this. want to come here. Do we win that? No, it's fine though. We rise to face tomorrow. Okay. Let me deal with that. And Shadows in the Night is already active because we used it. Okay. We can afford to slack in a few months. Not you. I should do that. For Enterprise. And that one. No gifts needed. Treat them as beloved guests and neighbors. Is the correct general. Bombard that forward. This way. Alright, what to do with this? Goods produced. Prosperity growth. Knowledge. Salvation. I mean, I guess... No, I don't need to do that. Yeah, we're probably not getting magical infrastructure level 3. Yeah. Akkad Horutep. The man, the myth, the legend himself. Please, for the love of God, vassals, siege down the Umbral Covenant. That's all I want you to do. Shit. I could just recruit him. Alright. Good, rigorous researchers. Alright. the Emerald Covenant doing? I still have a lot of men in the field. Decree of Friendship. Yeah, I'll do Decree of Friendship. Might let me revoke a privilege or two. What am I doing? Yes, that one. That's 5 absolutism, 5 absolutism, 5 absolutism. Merchants. Kinda rather not. Right of donations, kind of. Whatever. Dangerous thought. As the state's duties. Inherent duty. Alright. Gives us a very, very small amount of absolutism. And then we get here. Alright. Here. They are fighting Nazmi. There. Alright, we can stop that for the moment. Ooh, Lucky Siege. Snackbite. Alright, who wants to get out? Umbral Covenant, they do not. Vern. Still don't. Enough. I would have thought that would have been static. It's not like they're currently winning. Blue rep. Horutep cast some sort of flaming munition. Yeah, that's pretty good. Vassal's doing a terrible job of converting. Vern. Still not. Damn, Ibivar. It is not worth sacrificing this many men. The Abyssal Gold Mine. Nullkind is usually much more naturally suited to the open plains of Sarahal or the desert wastes of Bolwar than a deep hole in the ground. Despite this, Goldcore is now the world's largest open pit mine. Ardnakad was at the time in the middle of a feud with the dwarven population of Alvdal Tungar across the Divanal, who smugly refused to acknowledge the great achievements of Konolkhatep or the Ket despite being provided ample evidence of our greatness simply by living across the sea from us. In Goldcora, we saw an opportunity to obtain something even more precious than gold. A chance to show up those damn fool dwarves. The expansion of Goldcora's mine began immediately. Through the devotion of 50% of the mine's above-ground administration area into a feasting annex, the Ket were convinced to aid excavation through the summoning of a number of meteorites onto the site of the mine. And external consultants with a similar chip on their shoulders were brought in to oversee the construction of all necessary supports and infrastructure to keep the mine running. With the vast amount of housing and support buildings required to keep the abyssal mine running, Goldcore now more resembles a dwarven hold than a mere mine. Gold was not the primary motivation for the Goldcore's mine expansion, but we have also found that in spades. Alright, slave project. Yeah, we'll do the Hall of Kingdoms. Traveler. In the year 1645, the Great Sunroom Zermountain was dedicated in the name of Nikad Horutep. As the Cellar unites Keterata, so does the Sun Road unite the cradle of Amarat with the great port of Basran through the wastes of the Sunlands. As the Sorrow grants life to the Keterat, so does the Sun Road grant life to the desert wastes. As you cry out with a thirst for water amongst the dunes of the Sun Road, so too do we all require the leadership of the Ket. As this road stands forever, so too shall Konolkhatep. Alright, so we now have roads all over Sarhal. Is there any more we can build? Yes, there's at least one there. There's one here. One here. Yeah, I think there's like 3 or 4 more roads. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's like 4 roads. Seek is almost done converting. Umbral Covenant. They're shockingly close. Sure. We need to get that one done as well. Okay. No. I assume the reason Vern is not surrendering is because, yeah, their colonial empire is quite large. Alright. Shit. We sent an army. still not willing to surrender. Alright. Whatever you want, friend. Ibivar, buddy, I'm begging you. You're basically losing your entire population. Please, for the love of God. I'm tired of feasting on the carcasses of elves. Alright, that'll get Ibivar out. Oh yeah. No Medasi. I'll send an army to deal with them. Spare the expense. They're fucking shadow packed. Barely better than the Sabbath cultist. Is this the vile one? Yeah, it is. Alrighty. Alrighty. I assume I cannot convert them to a Medasi. No, I cannot. Okay, transferring there. Transfer here. Okay, what if I siege down? As far as Everthiel, and then that. Oh, good, the Canorians are fighting amongst each other. That's wonderful. Okay. Alright, they can pay me tribute because fuck them. Oh, never mind, I'm gonna have to get rid of that alliance, aren't I? Rent South. They can actually head this way because I no longer have any use of them in that area. They can head here. So for Vern, taking all of these, this one, then ideally like these three, which is pretty close to actually being able to get that. Here, they can stay there. We'll accept that. And here we want... That's fine, actually. Okay, so one army can stay on Tef. This army can stay right there. Both of those will be handled. I am stupid. It's late at night. Alright. Here. Okay, so. Come back. Umbral Covenant. Force March. Here. Tartakar. Okay, so for burn. This. And that. Don't care about that island. How far off are we off of that? Okay. Okay. That's gonna get cored. Armies can sit over here. Did they ever add these to the Empire? They did. Okay. Alright. Next. Okay. Apparently I can't do that. And we can Through relations here. Umbral Covenant. Pay off their massive debt. They can give us Diplo. And what else was I doing? It's here. Take those. If we don't take either of those. How much more war score can we get? Not that much. Okay, so this is the most important thing to take. And that is fine. We can do this, and maybe that lets us do it. No. Does make that coalition a lot easier to deal with, though. And then we can do this. Lose 29 development. Fine with me, prevents us from being overextended. Alright, so what are the requirements for Enroll Madasi? Governor is in Hall Cannon, an active governor slave edict in it. Subcontinent, East Sarhal. Okay, we're gonna need to employ new governors. Sarhal. This one. And then we can do that. Pleasure barge on the move. Extra mandate. Hedonism. Alright. Transactions. Alright. And it's easy. Nope, not that one. Healthy calligraphy. I'll do that one. Alright, that is basically all of East Sarhal under our control. tons of armies. We can field. Let's do control, control, shift. Control. I'm at with is 34. Okay. And they can head this way. This army can head nowhere. Alright. Guild's bookkeeping. Care about that so much. We can do authority, I guess. Economy action, send gift. Great power actions. Alright, influence actions. Two years. That's way too long. My diplomatic annexation cost. Minus 35%. That's it needs to be more like 80%. Yeah, we like dwarves. They're fine. Indeed. I'll take the absolute cheapest, actually. Give me a little bit extra. And okay, where are these? These guys need 1, 2 to go up to 36. It's 1, 2. That one. That for the free prestige. Pleasure barge on the move, extra mandate and hedonism, wonderful. Alright. Umbral Coven. Artemidasi. There we are. We march back this way. We need 26. Manufactories. We did not get it, which kind of sucks. Move up the, alright. Oh my goodness. Artemitasi. And Umbral Coven. $4,000 ducats. They have rivals? No, they don't. I'll have the Ahadi be happy. Does that change it? Alright. Ooh, they have a unique name. Yeah, they are a Madasi. Alright. Where are... Subia. Alright. And as far as conversion goes, we gotta include our subjects because we gotta convert a ton of them. Right, picking the remains. Gulf of Rahan, 3rd development. Okay, so that's 3rd development, marketplace. Place, dock, shipyard. Dock. Where is my trade fleet? We need to build like 60 there. Okay. Everyone is feeling great. So many slaves. 50,000. That one and that one. What about now, X-West? No. What if I do 28, 8, 20, 1,400 ducats? Okay. Truce with Ibivar is up. Alright. That's good. Actually, we'll need to go fight them, and that will require 2 armies. 2 armies would be good for that. Horutep's not that old. Okay, what do I need? Pressman office as well. Okay. It's not too much of an issue. Pressman office, there we are. Yeah, that one. Alright, what is next? He's Almora? He's Almora. So I want to go ahead and build this army. That will give us 28. These guys are pretty good. That will give us 2, 3, 4 armies, I think, to deal with Almora and actually try and grab as many provinces as we can from them. Yeah, gotta do that. And we're gonna send this right here. Gulf of Slaves, Madassi. Cozy, yep, nope. do that as my last act before I end the episode. Okay. Go with the flow. So I've already converted these over. That would not be bad war. You have the transports, Abuvia. Name MMM. Where's religion? Goes the golden era. Elmora. I'm gonna deal with a Boothia real quick. Actually, Boothia's doing that. Tech-wise, they are behind us. Army quality, rivals, less discipline, way less morale, lack of offensiveness. Okay. Okay, what am I looking like? GP-wise, number one with absolutely no question. Sarhal, basically under control. We'll get the islands eventually. Why is Loren? Because they are protector of the faith. Yeah, that makes sense. That would necessitate sending at least 2 more armies over there, which is annoying. So I am going to, as the last act of this episode, and marching this army down. This would be 150,000. Should be good. Influence. potentially. Have to take that. What? Could annex that. Could be fun. There's another slave edict I can do. Bulwar. Do that. Tanias, Sarhal, Fangiola. Already got those ones going. Okay. And want quickly 2 more infantry down there. Holy War. Holy War? Alright, that's it. I want to thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and have a good day.